Hi, Tim here from World of Sleuths with what I'm calling reading progress because reading updates. I get this is actually what I'll call it, and that's because this is taking place by current reads because of the readathon I have going on each month, like on Goodreads and here on YouTube, where we read 4 novels each month. Well, I'll talk about the ones that I have that I'm in the process of reading you first of all. And sorry about the bright light in the back. The shades are closed, but the curtain is a darkening curtain, so I won't have enough light for a recording if I closed it. And I meant to do this video back on Friday, but on Thursday I saw my neurologist, and she upped the dosage of one medication to the max, and she added another medication, and they were just kicking my butt. Yesterday I was so-so, and today I'm finally doing better. So with that said, I'll start showing the books. The book that I've been reading today is Flight of the Old Dog by Dale Brown. It's a techno thriller. It's sort of like Dale Brown's books are sort of like Tom Clancy's, and but instead of it being more instead of that being more Navy, Dale Brown's are actually more Air Force based. That's because he had been in the Air Force, of course, branch that I was in. I've been reading this book today, but before I go to bed tonight, I figure I'll be around halfway done with the book. I'm like 40% or so right now, and it's the first of the Patrick McClanahan series. And Flight of the Old Dog is an experimental aircraft, that ultra secret experimental aircraft being developed at Dreamland, which is at Nellis Air Force Base. And then then after I get up to halfway with that one, I'm going to start up again with Fear by Jeff Abbott. I'm around 30% of the way through with this book, and it's about a drug to help cure PTSD. But that they haven't let it out. That was under development because for reasons with so that FDA won't hear about it or anything, because the guy that owns the company developing it is planning on selling it to a pharmaceutical company. Well, that's all I'll tell you about this one, and then after that I'll be getting to around the halfway point of the Split Second by David Baldacci. This is one that I got the least in, but it's around a quarter of the chapters I've read. And this one is about two former Secret Service agents that both of them were on duty, and that the person that they were protecting, that were both of them were protecting presidential candidates, and they got the nomination of their party and stuff. So their respective parties, but there's like 4 or 5 years difference or more between the two. But the second one, when hers is kidnapped and then murdered, and the body of the was found in that law office of the first one of the, Sean King and Michelle Maxwell are the name of the people, and Michelle is the more recent, and Sean has become a lawyer, and the body of that presidential candidate that Michelle was protecting was found murdered in his office after being kidnapped, and so they're starting to try finding finding the people who did this. Okay, the next up is Canaan and Dable by Jeffrey Archer. This is a third of the way done here. That it's about two guys starting out. They're, as far as I am, they're still still under 18. They're only like 16. They were both born on the same day. One was, or Cain was born in Boston. To his father was the CEO of a bank, and he's later to eventually become the CEO of it. And Abel is his mother died in childbirth in the middle of the forest, and one of Abel's step, or you could say step or foster brothers, I guess you'd say, discovered him, and there was a poor family in Poland, and it's some growing up, and then eventually it takes him through World War I, and because living in Poland, and also he's just gotten into America, where I left off. Okay, and so with my project PD Mysteries and Thrillers, I completed The Wisdom of Father Brown. Like The Innocence of Brother Brown, it's a collection of short stories, and some of the stories are good, some not as good. I didn't like this quite as good as The Innocence of Father Brown, but I gave it a rating of 4 arrows. Okay, now since it's close to the middle of the month, and nobody submitted me any suggestions for trying to read for next month, I picked 8 books to choose from, and 4 with the top votes that they have until next Tuesday. That's 18th at 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And for those who don't know what area that is, that's by Chicago. I live in Rockford, Illinois, which is like an hour and a half from Chicago, depending on traffic. Well, anyway, so the top 4 votes of these 8 will be the ones that we'll read next month. But I'll do it this way to block some of the light. The first one is Our Game by David Baldacci. This is second one in the Sean King, Michelle Maxwell series. Sky Master by Dale Brown. This is second one in the Patrick McClanahan series. Flight of the Old Dogs, the first in the series. The Day of the Jackal by Frederick Forsyth. This is sort of like a spider espionage novel. I think it was, trying to remember, I think it was written back in the 60s or early 70s. Next one is Dark Horse by Tammy Hogue. Then this one is the first one in the Elena Estes series. I've read one book by Tammy Hogue so far that was back during March Mystery Madness, and I really liked it. This one looks more like a thriller where a former police officer is trying to solve a crime. Next one is Era Higgins Clark, Where Are the Children? This is, I know she's known for thrillers or suspense thrillers, and I haven't read any of her books, so I have to start off with this one because it's the earliest of all of my of hers that I've obtained. Okay, assume David Baldacci, I don't mean Baldacci, David Morell's assumed identity. This is a standalone novel by him. He's the guy that wrote First Blood, and this is like a espionage novel here. The next is a true crime one. It's Dead by Sunset by Andrew Orr. Dead by Sunset, Perfect Husband, Perfect Killer. That's true crime. And the last one I have is John Le Carre's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which of course is a spy thriller. Well, those are all the books that I have for this video. And like I said, you can. I'll leave a link to the thread in the my Goodreads group down below for the voting. Because if I did a poll, you suppose in Goodreads that you could only vote for one, or if you're not a member of Goodreads, you can just leave them in the comments to this video. So that's all I have for this time. So until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.